The fire started sometime around 2 in the morning. I remember standing on the front lawn in my pajama, watching 41 years of my life turn into smoke. The flames were loud like they were alive eating everything I had never worked for. The windows burst one by one, and every sound felt like a memory breaking. Inside that house were all the small pieces of my life, my clothes, old letters, text papers, wedding photos of Carol smiling in the backyard. Carol was gone for 3 years now, but her things were still in the closet, exactly where she left them. I always thought I would sort through them one day. Now the fire had done the storing for me. By morning, there was nothing left but black wood, wheat ash, and a smell that would not leave my nose. A man from the insurance company handed me a blanket and spoke in a calm voice, like this was normal. Maybe for him it was. For me, it was the end of everything familiar. I called my son around noon. My hands were still shaking when he answered. I told him the house was gone. There was a long pause on the line, the kind of pause that tells you everything before a single word comes out. He said their guest room was full of storage. He said his wife was not comfortable with guests for a long time. His voice sounded polite, careful, like he was reading from a script. I said, I'm your father. He signed quietly and said, I know, Dad, I know, but we just cannot right now. That evening, my neighbor Jean knocked on the door of the temporary motel room. She said I could sleep on her couch as long as I needed. She made scrambled eggs the next morning and did not ask a single question. Some people show you who they are without any drama at all. I was not a man who sat still well. Carol used to say that about me, said I had rather than break my back than break a sweat wedding. So after the fire, after the motel, after I moved into Mr. Pechu, $400 room with that hot plate in the hallway, I went looking for work. I found a night job at warehouse, 10 at night to 6 in the morning. We moved boxes of industrial fasteners and shrink, wrap, paper, goods. Not existing work, not important work, but it was honest and it was quiet. I liked the quiet. It gave my mind somewhere to rest. On Sundays, I went to library. I read newspaper, old magazines, sometimes just sat there because it was warm and nobody asked question. My life had a shape again, not the shape I planned, but the shape. That's where I meet Raymond. He drove a refrigerated truck. Same route every week. Same dinner, same counter seat, same slice of pie. We did not talk much at first. Two men who did not need anything from each other except company. When November got cold, he started giving me rides back from work sometime. Never made a big deal about it. He just showed up and said, "You heading my way?" Then one morning around 4, Mr. Pechu knocked on my door and said there was a call from the bank. The woman on the phone spoke very carefully. She said there had been a change of beneficiary field on my last remaining account bank about 3 weeks earlier. She said the signature matched mine closely enough that bank proceeded it without flags. I sat on the edge of bed holding the phone for a long time. After she hung up, I understood exactly what had happened. I understood who had done it. The fire had burned something out of me I had not quite named yet. That phone call at 4 in the morning had burned something else. Later that week, Raymond told me he had driven past my storage unit at 1 in the morning a few nights back. He noticed a car there, said the license plate ended in 742. He remembered because I once told him that was my son, old baseball number. Raymond looked at me for a long moment and then said very quietly, "Whatever you decided, you do not do it alone. I will stay right here." He turned around and the look on his face was not guilt. I want to be honest about that. It was calculation, like he was already building a story in his head, already preparing the explanation before I even spoke. It was around 1 in the morning. The storage unit door was open and there were boxes on ground beside his car. He started talking fast, saying he was just helping move things, saying he meant to call me, saying a lot of things that did not really matter. I did not argue. I did not raise my voice. I just looked at the box and said, "Put the box back." He kept talking like he did not hear me. So I said it again very quietly, put the box back. And he did. He picked them up one by one and carried them inside without another word. That was the end of the confrontation. Not yelling, nonsense, just a truth standing there between us. Later, the bank confirmed the frequency. The account was restored. I sold the empty lot where the house used to be. Bought a small condo. In April, a pink dogwood trees bloomed outside the window. I used to sit and look at in the morning with my coffee. A few months later, I received a letter from my son Lair. Three formal paragraphs and the word regret in the middle of second one. No phone call, no knock on the door, just a letter. I put the letter in driver and closed it. Not the trash, not reply, just driver. On Sunday morning, I started going to breakfast with Raymond, and sometime in his daughter joined us. One morning, she said I was good influence on her father because he started working more and complaining. Yes, Raymond laughed and said, "No, you go eat backward. He is the good influence. He showed up every night, all winter, and did the work, and did not fall. That's an influence." Sometimes I think about Carol when I look at the dogwood tree. I think she would have smiled and said what she always said when life did not go the way we planned. Well, there it's. Sometimes the family you end up with is not the one you started with, and sometimes that's how you survive.